Have you ever stopped to think that the reason you're not sleeping well might be something you're completely overlooking? What if I told you there's a simple secret that could make you sleep 10 times better, and you can start using it tonight? Most people endure sleepless nights without even knowing the real cause, waking up tired, frustrated, and drained of energy. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? Many believe that poor sleep is just normal, and that a little extra rest on the weekend will fix it. Wrong. In reality, it's the small habits and choices you make throughout the day that sabotage your rest. The good news? With just a few simple, scientifically proven tweaks, you can transform your nighttime routine and finally wake up feeling refreshed, ready to tackle the day with energy. Today, I'm going to share with you the most effective strategies, backed by experts like Matthew Walker, to help you sleep deeply and improve your sleep quality. Curious about how this can change your life? Stick with me, because you're about to discover how to transform your nights and start sleeping like a champion. Alright, let's break this down. Sleep isn't just about shutting your eyes and hoping to wake up feeling great. It's actually more like a journey your body takes every night. And each part of this journey is super important. First, there's light sleep. Picture this. You're in bed, eyes closed, but still a little aware of your surroundings. You know when you're half asleep but could still hear your phone buzz? That's light sleep. Your body is just starting to relax, like testing the waters before fully diving in. This stage is quick, but it's the gateway to deeper sleep. Next, we enter deep sleep, which is like the repair shop for your body. Imagine your muscles getting a tune-up, your immune system getting a boost, and all the stress of the day melting away. If you've ever woken up after a night of deep sleep, feeling like you could conquer the world, it's because your body had time to really recharge during this stage. And then there's REM sleep. This is where the real magic happens. Think of it as your brain's own movie theater, where your dreams come alive. But it's not just for fun. REM is also where your brain files away memories, processes emotions, and gets you mentally ready for the next day. If you've ever had wild, vivid dreams, they likely happened in this stage. All these stages work together, looping throughout the night to give your body and brain the rest they need. Imagine missing out on one part, like skipping the REM stage. It's like leaving a job half done. You might wake up groggy, forgetful, or just feeling off. Now that you've got the basics, let's dive into the next part. How can you make sure you're getting the most out of each stage? Stick around, because next, we'll explore how the sleep cycle repeats and why it's so important. Sleep isn't just this long, continuous process. It's actually split into cycles, and each one is like a mini journey that your body repeats every 90 minutes. Imagine this. It's like going on a looping ride. You start at one point, go through a series of experiences, and end up right back where you began, ready to start again. Let's break it down in a way that's easy to picture. First, there's light sleep. Picture yourself lying in bed, just starting to doze off. Your mind is still somewhat awake. If someone called your name, or if you heard a loud noise, you could easily snap out of it. It's like you're at the edge of sleep, testing the waters. Then you move into stage 2, where your body starts to get serious about resting. Think of it like this. Your body temperature drops, your heart rate slows down. Basically, your body's hitting the chill button. Imagine getting cozy under a blanket, your muscles fully relaxing, and your brain begins organizing things you've learned throughout the day, like someone filing papers into folders. Now here comes the really important part, deep sleep. This is your body's version of maintenance mode. Have you ever woken up feeling completely recharged after a long night? That's because deep sleep is where your body repairs muscles, boosts the immune system, and builds up energy for tomorrow. It's like a mechanic tuning up a car. You don't notice it happening, but the results are huge. Finally, you hit REM sleep, where things get fun. Dreamland. This is like your brain's version of a movie theater. Here, your brain is buzzing with activity, creating dreams and sorting through your memories. Think of it like your brain's version of tidying up after a long day, cleaning up emotions and experiences, so you wake up with a clear head and a more balanced mood. So, imagine going through this loop, from light sleep to deep sleep to REM, about 4 or 5 times each night. If you skip any part of the cycle, like cutting your sleep short, it's like trying to run a marathon without eating breakfast. You'll make it through, but it won't be pretty. Each stage has a job to do, and missing out on even one cycle can make a huge difference in how you feel the next day. Curious to learn how to get the most out of each stage? Stick around, because next we're diving into how your circadian rhythm works hand in hand with these sleep cycles. Let's dive a bit deeper into how your body knows when to sleep and when to wake up. Think of your circadian rhythm as a built-in clock. It's like having a personal sleep guide inside you that keeps track of time based on cues from the world around you, especially light. In the morning, when sunlight hits your eyes, it tells your brain, "Wake up, it's daytime." This is why if you spend your mornings in natural sunlight, you usually feel more awake and energized. Here's a good example. Imagine waking up super early on vacation, sitting on a sunny beach with a fresh coffee in hand. That morning light helps reset your circadian rhythm, signaling your body it's time to be active. Now think of those gloomy winter days when the sun barely rises and you feel groggy all day. Your internal clock isn't getting the same signal. The solution? Even just 15 to 30 minutes of sunlight in the morning can set you up for better sleep at night by keeping your circadian rhythm on track. But here's where it gets interesting. Your circadian rhythm doesn't work alone. You've also got adenosine, which is like a sleep pressure that builds up over the day. Imagine filling up a balloon with air. The longer you're awake, the more adenosine builds up, making you feel more tired. When that balloon is full, it's time to sleep. But if you drink caffeine, it's like sticking a pin in that balloon. The adenosine doesn't get to build up properly, and you don't feel tired, even though your body is begging for rest. For example, ever had a cup of coffee late in the afternoon and then struggled to fall asleep that night? It's because caffeine blocks the effects of adenosine, tricking your brain into thinking it's not time for bed. That's why experts suggest avoiding caffeine at least 6 to 8 hours before you plan to sleep, to let that natural sleep pressure do its thing. Your circadian rhythm and adenosine work together, like two teammates guiding your body through wakefulness and rest. When they're aligned, you fall asleep more easily and wake up feeling refreshed. But when they're out of sync, like if you stay up late scrolling through your phone or drink coffee too close to bedtime, your sleep suffers. So to sum it up, treat your circadian rhythm like your best friend who knows when you should be up and when you should be resting. Expose yourself to morning sunlight, avoid screens late at night, and give caffeine a break in the afternoon. Ready to learn how your brain's architecture plays into this? Stick around, because next we'll explore how different parts of your brain control these sleep signals. Hey, real quick, stick with me here, because when you finish this video, it's going to be totally worth it. You'll have some serious knowledge about how your brain controls sleep, and trust me, knowing this stuff will help you sleep better. Imagine waking up tomorrow feeling like you actually got the rest you needed. Sound good? Great, let's break it down. Alright, your brain is like the sleep HQ, the command center that runs the whole show while you're dreaming away. Different parts of your brain work together to manage your sleep cycle, guiding you from light sleep to deep sleep and back again. It's like having your own team of experts behind the scenes, making sure you get the rest you need. First, let's talk about your suprachiasmatic nucleus. Yeah, it's a mouthful, so let's call it the SCN. This is the master clock of your body. Think of it like a timekeeper, always keeping track of whether it's light or dark outside. So when it's getting late and the sun starts to go down, the SCN sends a signal that it's time for your body to wind down and start producing melatonin, the sleep hormone. It's basically the brain's way of dimming the lights, getting you ready for bed. Next up, there's the pineal gland. This is your body's melatonin factory. Once the SCN says it's time, the pineal gland kicks in and starts pumping out melatonin, making you feel sleepy. That's why it's super important to keep your room as dark as possible at night, whether it's using blackout curtains or throwing on a sleep mask. The darker your space, the better your pineal gland can do its thing. Then there's the thalamus, which acts like a bouncer at a club. It decides which outside noises or sensations get to bother you while you sleep. During most of your sleep cycle, the thalamus shuts out distractions so you can rest peacefully. But during REM sleep, it lets some of those sensations through, which is why your dreams can feel so vivid and real. Ever had a dream where you felt like you were actually there? That's your thalamus, working with REM sleep to bring your dreams to life. And finally, we've got the pons. This guy is the muscle control expert, literally. The pons is responsible for keeping your body still during REM sleep, so you don't act out your dreams. Ever woken up from a dream and felt like you couldn't move? That's your pons doing its job. It's like putting your body on pause while your brain does all the dreaming. Each part of your brain has a role to play in making sure your sleep cycle runs smoothly. So understanding how your brain controls sleep is the first step to optimizing it. You now know how the SCN, pineal gland, thalamus, and pons all work together to give you a good night's sleep. Ready to take it to the next level? Keep watching, because next, we'll talk about why sleep is so important for your body and mind. So let's talk about why sleep is such a big deal. You've probably heard people say that sleep is important, but let's break it down to understand exactly why that's true. Think of sleep as your body's reset button. It's like plugging your phone in at night. You need to recharge, right? Sleep is your body's way of hitting refresh so you can function properly the next day. For your brain, sleep is like a filing system. During the day, you collect tons of information, but without sleep, it's like having a messy desk. Everything's scattered and hard to find. When you sleep, especially during REM sleep, your brain organizes your thoughts and experiences, making it easier to remember things and learn new stuff. Imagine trying to run a computer with too many tabs open. It slows down. That's your brain on no sleep. Now, when it comes to your emotions, sleep is like your personal therapist. Without it, your ability to manage stress, anxiety, and even frustration can take a hit. Ever notice how everything feels harder when you're tired? That's because lack of sleep messes with your emotional regulation. Your brain doesn't get the chance to process emotions properly, so you wake up feeling more irritable or stressed than usual. And let's not forget the physical side of things. Your muscles, immune system, and overall physical health rely on good sleep to function at their best. During deep sleep, your body repairs tissues, builds muscle, and even boosts your immune system. It's like your body's nightly maintenance routine. Skip out on sleep, and things start to break down. That's why when you don't sleep well, you might feel sluggish, sore, or even catch colds more easily. The takeaway here? Sleep isn't just a time to rest, it's a time for your body and brain to recover, grow, and prepare for the challenges ahead. So, next time you're tempted to stay up late, think about all the amazing benefits you're missing out on. Ready to learn what happens when you don't get enough sleep? Stick around, because next we're diving into the effects of sleep deprivation and why it can mess with every aspect of your life. Alright, let's be honest. Not getting enough sleep is rough, but it's way more than just feeling a bit groggy. The real effects of sleep deprivation? They can mess with you in every possible way. You know those days where you're stumbling through work or school feeling like a zombie? That's your body crying for sleep. But here's the thing, it's not just about being tired. Your brain and body are literally screaming for help. Let's start with your brain. Imagine trying to run a marathon with no training. That's what your brain feels like when it doesn't get enough sleep. It's struggling to keep up. Ever had those moments where you're reading the same sentence over and over, but nothing sticks? That's your brain saying, "Hey, I need rest." Sleep helps your brain organize thoughts and store memories, so skipping it is like working with a messy desk. Everything's out of order, and you can't focus. Now let's talk about emotions. Ever notice how little things get on your nerves when you're tired? You drop your keys, and suddenly it feels like the end of the world. Lack of sleep turns your emotional filter off, and everything feels bigger than it is. Picture this. You're running late, you're exhausted, and someone cuts you off in traffic. Normally, you might shrug it off, but when you're sleep deprived, you're ready to explode. That's because your brain hasn't had time to process stress and emotions while you sleep. And what about your body? Sleep is like hitting the repair button for your muscles and immune system. When you don't sleep, your body doesn't get the chance to recover, leaving you feeling sore, run down, and more likely to catch a cold. It's like trying to charge your phone, but only plugging it in for 10 minutes. You're running on fumes. Skipping sleep even messes with your metabolism, which can lead to weight gain. Yes, you heard that right. Less sleep can actually make it harder to stay in shape. Now let's get serious for a second. Long-term sleep deprivation is no joke. It's linked to serious health issues like heart disease, diabetes, and a weakened immune system. In short, the less you sleep, the more your health takes a hit. It's not just about feeling off the next day. Chronic sleep deprivation can really shorten your life. But don't worry, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Stick with me, because in the next section, we're going to dive into something much more fun. Dreams. Yep, we'll talk about why you dream, what your brain is up to during those wild nighttime adventures, and how your dreams actually help your emotional well-being. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. So, let's get to the fun part. Dreams. Have you ever woken up from a wild dream and wondered, what was that all about? Well, dreams are more than just a random movie playing in your head at night. They happen mostly during REM sleep, which is one of the most important stages of your sleep cycle. And here's the cool part. Dreams actually serve a purpose. They help your brain sort through emotions and memories, like a mental cleanup crew that works while you're sleeping. Let me break it down. During REM sleep, your brain becomes super active, almost like it's awake. This is when your mind is processing everything from your day, sorting through thoughts, solving problems, and even making sense of your feelings. Ever notice how sometimes you wake up with a solution to something that was stressing you out? That's because your brain was working on it while you were dreaming. But dreams do more than just help you process your day. They also help with emotional healing. Think of REM sleep as your brain's therapy session. When you dream, your brain takes the edge off of difficult emotions, helping you deal with stress, anxiety, or even trauma in a way that's more manageable. It's like your mind is saying, "Don't worry, we got this," and smoothing things over while you rest. Now, here's something interesting. People who don't get enough REM sleep often wake up feeling more anxious or stressed. That's because their brain didn't get enough time to sort through emotions and hit that reset button. So, if you're skipping out on REM sleep, it's no wonder you feel off balance the next day. It's like leaving a messy room without cleaning up, and you know how that feels, right? So the next time you wake up from a bizarre dream, remember, your brain was doing some important work while you slept. REM sleep is a critical part of keeping your mind sharp and your emotions in check. Want to know how you can make sure you get enough REM sleep? Stay with me, because up next, we'll talk about sleep disorders and what to do if your sleep cycle is all over the place. Quick question. How do you feel the next day after a bad night's sleep? Like a zombie on autopilot? Maybe your brain feels like oatmeal? Yeah, I've been there. Trying to function without good sleep is like running on low battery mode all day, right? But what if your sleepless nights are more than just the occasional tossing and turning? Sleep disorders could be behind the madness, and they're more common than you think. Let's kick things off with insomnia. Ever had one of those nights where your mind just won't shut up? You're lying there, tired but wide awake, and your brain's running through a million random thoughts, from what you had for lunch 3 days ago, to whether penguins have knees. Yeah, that happens. That's insomnia, and it makes getting through the next day feel like trudging through mud. Whether it's stress, anxiety, or even too much screen time, insomnia makes it almost impossible to catch the Z's you desperately need. Next up, sleep apnea. This one's a bit sneaky because you might not even know it's happening. Picture this. You're snoring away when suddenly your breathing pauses, and your brain has to wake you up to start breathing again. You're not fully awake, but these interruptions happen over and over throughout the night. The next day, you wake up feeling like you never really slept. If you've ever felt tired even after what should have been a solid night of sleep, sleep apnea might be the reason. And let's not forget about narcolepsy. Imagine you're just doing your thing, working, watching TV, whatever, and suddenly, boom, you're out. It's like your brain can't keep track of when it's supposed to sleep, so you end up falling asleep at random times. It's one of those conditions that can make everyday life a bit tricky, to say the least. I mean, can you imagine nodding off in the middle of a conversation or while eating lunch? Then there's sleepwalking, the nighttime adventure no one signs up for. Sleepwalking usually happens in deeper stages of sleep, and people end up wandering around the house without realizing it. Some might just shuffle around, but others can get really adventurous, like opening doors or moving things around. If you've ever woken up to find your furniture rearranged, well, you might have a sleepwalker in the house. If any of this sounds familiar, don't worry, you're not alone, and there are ways to fix it. Sleep disorders can be treated, and it's all about figuring out what's getting in the way of your good night's sleep. So stick around, because up next, we're diving into some practical, life-changing tips that can help you get your sleep back on track, starting tonight. Before we dive into the next tips, let me ask, how are you liking the video so far? Hopefully, you're already thinking about how these sleep hacks can totally transform your nights. And trust me, by the time we finish here, you'll be armed with proven strategies to sleep better starting tonight. 1. Create your sleep cave, the perfect environment for rest. Let's kick things off with your sleep space. Did you know your bedroom can either be your best friend or your worst enemy when it comes to sleep? I like to think of it as a sleep cave, cool, dark, and quiet. Your brain associates light with daytime, so if your room is too bright, you're sending mixed signals. Dim the lights about an hour before bed to help your body get into sleep mode. You could even go one step further and try red or amber lights, which are easier on your eyes and won't mess with your melatonin levels. Fun fact, many airplane cabins now use these softer lights to help passengers adjust to different time zones. Blackout curtains or a sleep mask? Total game changers. They block out any sneaky light that might interfere with your sleep cycle. And if noise is an issue, white noise machines or apps can be a lifesaver. Think of it as creating your personal sleep bubble. Did you know that consistent noise, like white noise or nature sounds, can help your brain block out sudden disruptions? It's like having a guard at the door of your sleep cave, keeping unwanted sounds at bay. 2. Snack smart for sleep. What you eat matters. Now, let's talk about what's going on in your stomach. Did you know that certain foods can actually help you sleep better? Yeah, it's true. Bananas, almonds, and even a small bowl of oatmeal before bed can work wonders. Why? They're packed with magnesium and tryptophan, two key nutrients that help your muscles relax and your brain produce melatonin. Fun fact, tryptophan is the same thing in turkey that makes you feel sleepy after Thanksgiving dinner. No, it's not just because you ate too much. And if you're a fan of tea, you're in luck. Swap out your usual evening drink for chamomile tea or valerian root tea. Chamomile is known for its calming effects, while valerian root has been used as a natural sleep aid for centuries. Pretty cool, right? It's like your cup of tea is giving you a little nudge towards dreamland. 3. Ditch the screens. Why blue light is your enemy. Alright, we all love our late night screen time, whether it's checking social media, watching videos, or binging that show you can't stop thinking about. But here's the thing. Blue light from your devices is blocking your body's melatonin production, and melatonin is crucial for making you feel sleepy. Imagine this. It's like trying to fall asleep with the sun shining in your eyes. Not ideal, right? That's what blue light does. It tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. So here's a challenge. No screens for 30 minutes before bed. Instead, try reading a physical book or doing some light stretching. Trust me, it makes a difference. And if you really can't give up your phone or laptop, try using blue light blocking glasses or switching your device to night mode. Here's a cool fact. Even astronauts on the International Space Station have to manage their exposure to light carefully to keep their sleep schedules on track. If they can do it in space, you can totally do it at home. Number 4. The magic of a warm bath. A science-backed sleep booster. Here's a fun one. A warm bath about 90 minutes before bed can seriously improve your sleep. I know it sounds like a luxury, but there's science behind it. When you soak in warm water, your body temperature rises. Then, as you step out, your body starts to cool down, which signals to your brain that it's time to sleep. It's like flipping your body's internal sleep switch. Studies have shown that this trick can help you fall asleep faster and spend more time in deep, restorative sleep. And it's not just a fluke. Many cultures have used this method for centuries. In Japan, for example, it's common to take a hot bath before bed as part of a wind-down routine. Why not add this relaxing ritual to your night? Number 5. Morning sunlight, your body's natural alarm clock. Last but definitely not least, get some sunlight in the morning. Here's the deal. Your body has a built-in clock called your circadian rhythm, and it needs light to stay in sync. Spending 15 to 30 minutes in the sun first thing in the morning helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle. It's like setting your body's natural alarm clock, making it easier to fall asleep at night and wake up feeling refreshed. Ever wonder why you feel more awake and alert after spending time outside? That's because sunlight stops melatonin production and boosts serotonin, which makes you feel good and awake. So tomorrow morning, enjoy your coffee outside or take a quick walk to soak up some rays. Not only will you feel more energized during the day, but your body will thank you when it's bedtime. So, how are these tips sounding? Drop a comment and let me know which one you're going to try first. And remember, these are easy, small changes you can start tonight. Imagine waking up tomorrow feeling totally refreshed. Doesn't that sound amazing? Let's get you there. So, now that you know the secret to sleeping 10 times better, what's stopping you from putting it into practice tonight? Imagine how much better you'll feel waking up after a full night of deep, uninterrupted sleep. What's the first change you'll make? Maybe it's setting up a bedtime routine or cutting back on screen time before bed. What's your biggest challenge when it comes to sleep, and how are you planning to fix it? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what's working for you and what other tips you're excited to try. Sleep isn't just about resting. It's about unlocking your full potential every day. And trust me, small changes lead to huge results. If you're ready to keep improving your sleep and overall well-being, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. There's so much more we're going to cover on this journey to a healthier, more energized life. We're just getting started.